Nice. Hello, everybody. How are you? Really? Nice. So, as you can tell by the a butterfly. As you can tell by the title, I'm here to talk about the latest film known as The Joker. I heard a lot about it. There was a lot of buzz, mainly just like a lot of memes, which for me is a lot of buzz. The way I saw it, I honestly just really wanted to go to the movies because I haven't seen like a movie, like had the movie experience in a long time. And I got this friend, and he gave me like free tickets, and we went and saw The Joker. That's because it seemed like the best thing to see with our age bracket. But upon seeing it, I was like, wow, totally worth seeing. Don't know what else I would have seen. Now, I'm also a fan of DC over Marvel. Very unpopular opinion. I could see the appeal towards Marvel, though, because Marvel is fun, and Marvel's pretty easy, in my opinion. Just because it's got, like, I want to say it's just kind of childish. Just, like, juxtaposed to DC. DC's more edgy and brooding and has more of a dark background. It's like the difference between Naruto and Pokemon. Naruto being DC. So, after watching the movie, I said to myself, man, that was very cringy. There were many moments where I was making faces like... In fact, that's the only face I made, and I'm in my seat like, what? Oh my gosh, there's a whole lot happening in that movie. But I liked it. Like, one of my favorite moments. It happens a few times, and it was done on purpose. But one of my favorite moments was whenever something was going on and he was feeling, I don't know, maybe probably nervous. For the most part, I think he did it when he was nervous. Or just, I don't know, when there was a lot of chaos going on either in his mind or in his environment, he would start dancing. You would hear like an old song, or I don't remember if it was classical music or just an old song, and he would just start doing like a contemporary dance. And I totally got that. It was like he was going to his happy place, which is something that people who swear that they're sane don't even know how to do. So, good actor. For some reason, like, the character who is the Joker is constantly being remade, and there has to have been at least like 7 Jokers by now. And with all 7 Jokers, everyone's got something to say about them. My favorite Joker so far, I think Heath Ledger did a pretty good job because he had me lost in who the Joker was. I think that aesthetic-wise, Jared Leto did a good job. I think he was probably the coolest looking Joker. So, there's that. One of the interesting points I wanted to make about this movie was the making a villain a protagonist, because it provides perspective on what it is that not only is a villain, but what makes someone become a villain. So honestly, like, what I find when it comes to villains what I find is common in telling a villain story is that they normally have the right idea, but they just execute it improperly. So, like, other examples are Killmonger. He had the right idea. Everyone knows that Killmonger was right, but he just did it the wrong way. In theory, he was led through rage and hurt a lot of people along the way and had every intention to continue doing that, and obviously they had to stop him because of that alone. Then you got Thanos. He was trying to save his planet. I should really rewatch Avengers. You see, I'm not that big on Marvel. He tried to save his planet, but in order to do that, he had to, like, annihilate Earth, which obviously they weren't going to let him do that. Therefore, they had to stop him. Kylo Ren. I don't know. He had power. Like, he had great skills and abilities, but due to his background, he ended up going to the dark side. I guess the same thing happened with Anakin, who is Darth Vader, who Kylo Ren was inspired by. It's a common thing. It's a mix of having a troubled past and also having no guidance along your troubled path that leads people to believe that their objectives are the right thing to do, and they don't realize that it's led through sour emotions. Sour. With the right mentor, you can learn how to peacefully achieve great things. But when it comes to villain stories, they normally have not had that type of mentor. You know, I have to be honest, I actually missed like the beginning of the movie. This is a long story, but we didn't get there in time for the beginning of the movie. So I don't really know how it started, but I do know that his mother was ill, and also had a mental disorder. And he himself had a condition where he just kept laughing. He was a laugher. You know, it is more like impulsive laughter that came from him that hindered his ability to maintain himself in society. And no one seemed to understand that, so it led him to get into a lot of trouble. His mother and himself were also delusional. There was a big part in the movie where everything you thought actually happened, turns out, did not happen. And I honestly was shocked. I was sitting there. I had no idea that was going to happen. The way they even executed that moment was very Fight Club-ish. Like, you'd have to have seen it to, like, you're like, that's Fight Club right there. I was pretty upset with how people reacted to his condition. I feel like nowadays, if you just saw someone laughing with no tangible cause to be tickled like that, I don't think that people would be so offended by it. Like, I just think that they would, I don't know, kind of try to mind their business. But in this movie, there were several times where people were, like, mean to him. And, like, he got beat up. He got punched. It's like, why is no one in Gotham aware of mental illness? Strange. But okay. I don't know. I think it's just a sign of the times, you know. I think nowadays in our society, people are a lot more aware of mental illness, mental disorders, or just when someone's got something going on and we know how to handle it. I would like to say a lot better. There's just a lot more resources to maintain yourself in society or to find help and treatment that apparently, back in the Joker's day, they did not have. The movie did a play on socioeconomic status, because he, at some point, couldn't even afford his medication. He lost his job. Oh my God, the way he lost his job was almost funny, but it was terrible. I don't even want to spoil that. It was just ridiculous. It was sad, but it was funny. I don't know how they managed to make something like that funny, but his father, supposedly, like, what was his name? Thomas Wayne? He was a up-and-coming, I think he was running for mayor of Gotham, and he was allegedly Arthur. That's the Joker's name. That was Arthur's father. Oh, he tried to go ask him for money, and he couldn't get it. And there was a part where he managed to make it to TV, and he kind of started talking about where he stood in society and how that wasn't fair to him. And nobody looks at him like he's a regular person. Everyone looks down on him, whereas he's just as much of a person as everyone else. That's one of the greatest lessons you can learn in life. And I think that's a very valuable lesson. Unfortunately, he ended up committing a murder and starting a riot afterwards, but I feel like that was a good point that he made, because the only reason he was on the show was so that people can laugh at him, and that wasn't cool. Other than that, movie-wise, I loved the way they portrayed the story. I loved the angles that they used. They used a lot of panning. The angles were properly used. I like that a lot. The score was amazing. I would listen to the score like right now. I just really love a good score to go with the story. Everything was well portrayed through the music. The color scheme went with the time that he was in. Yeah, so apparently since it was like a sort of, I think it might have been the 70s, or I don't think it was the 80s, but like it had a very retro vibe to go along with the story, and I think that was important to capture. To make sure you have all those elements so you can feel like you're in that time period with the movie. I think that's good. Yeah, but the color scheme had a lot of like, I want to say like chestnut brown mixed with like a burgundy, and then the tones of that mixed well with his makeup because he has the red lips and the green hair and the blue, what do you call that, diamonds that go over his eyes. And everything kind of mixed with that in a darker tone. Like the whole movie was very dark, a very dingy movie, which makes sense because they're trying to paint. I want to say if he was a hero, he would have been like brighter in tone, but Batman is black as heck, so never mind. Also, they showed towards the end of the movie how Thomas Wayne was technically Bruce Wayne's father. And I don't know why it took the entire movie for me to see that. I had no idea that was going to happen. But they showed the scene where the parents got shot in the alley and Bruce Wayne was there. And I was like, oh, wow. So the Joker was a part of Batman's path from the beginning. That's wild. I think that's actually really cool how they did that. I don't know how efficient that is to a timeline, but I think it was really good. I like that a lot. All in all, it was a good movie. I liked it a lot. A lot of people like it because of the mental awareness that it brings. Mental health awareness, I mean. Because he had this quote where he said that the funny thing about having mental illness is everyone wants you to behave as if you don't. And do I find that to be true? Yes, definitely. I don't even know, like, why, But I guess that's a good thing about mental health awareness, is that it helps you show people what is going on with you without feeling like you're a burden for having things going on with you. I think that's important. For people to not be ashamed of what's going on and for them to feel more open about getting help towards those conditions. Or, yeah, just conditions. Thank you for watching. I think I covered everything that needed to be covered. Would I recommend you see the movie? Yes. It's not that action-packed. The best part is the riot at the end. That's my favorite part. I would watch that over. From when he got on the talk show to him being in the hospital. That's the best part of the movie, in my opinion. I, at some point, will watch it from the beginning, and maybe I'll add more insight to the movie. If you have any feedback, please comment in the comment section. If you like this video, hit this button down there. If you want to see more videos like this, let me know. And also subscribe so that whatever else I put out, you will be the first to know about it. And I think there's a bell thing. If you hit that, you'll be notified every time I post something. Thank you. I'm going to eat oatmeal now. You guys, you have a good day.